Hi, this is Jim. Thank you for joining me today on my channel. Really appreciate it. And today I want to talk about the election. The election is coming up. It's great, man. I'm looking forward to it. And I hope you've done your research to know who to vote for. But today I'm going to help you a little bit when it comes to education. Now, as most of you probably already know, I spent 20 years most of the time as the only conservative on the Vista Unified School District. I support parents. I'm pro-life. I am pro-taxpayer, and I'm pro-good teacher. So that's my background. So the election's coming up, and I'm going to give you a really simple way to identify who you should vote for on your local school board. If you haven't done the research, and I understand, people are busy. They got jobs, things like that. They have things they have to take care of, so sometimes you don't have the time. And you got all these people running, so sometimes you don't have the time to pick and choose who you should vote for. But one of the things it's easy to discover is as you go down the road, as you drive down the road, you're going to see these little yard signs. And I've always seen that the teachers' labor union always prints these yard signs for their candidates. And it always says at the top, the teacher's choice. So I would encourage you to not vote for anybody that has on their yard sign, the teacher's choice. Because the teacher's choice is the union's choice. Now, does the union go and talk to teachers and say, we're coming out to your school, this Wednesday, and here are the 5 people we think might be running for school board, and we would like you to pick the ones that you think would do the best, and there's their bio, so you understand their background and everything else. They don't do that. What they do is they pick individuals that they already know, support the labor union, that already know support their ideas. That means they're going to support extreme left-leaning individuals. They're not interested in parents. They don't care about taxpayers, except that they think you should pay them more money to education. They're not pro-life, and they're not pro-parent and pro-children. These are the ones that put masks on your kids. These were the ones that didn't follow the science when it came to the mask. These were the ones that closed the schools down. They don't care about you as a taxpayer or as a parent. They care about their power and they care about their money. Now, most of the money that they collect goes to the big teachers union in California, the CTA. I call them the California Teachers Union, Activist Union, that's what they are. And it goes to them, and they take this money, and then they use it to get other people elected, governors, assemblymen, state senators, even down to city councils, things like that. Now, for the person who is not supported by the school board, they have to raise their own money. They have to have their own volunteers. They have to show that they have intelligence enough to run a campaign. So they're the people who you would be interested in if you're pro-parent, pro-family, pro-taxpayer, things like that. Pro-good teacher, by the way. There's a lot of good teachers that get picked on by the teachers union because they are good. It makes the others look bad. But anyway, make a long story short, I want to talk to you just about one little story. This story would be great, and you can fully understand the power that the teachers union have over the school boards. So they pick the people who are going to vote the way they want, but sometimes they screw up. And I remember one vote in particular, it was late at night, 11, 12 o'clock at night. Yeah, some of our meetings went to like the next day, went to 1 in the morning, things like that. Started at 6 o'clock at night, 5 o'clock at night, went to 1 in the morning. It was unbelievable sometimes how long these board meetings would last. But anyway, make a long story short, late in the evening, the other 4 board members voted with me on something that the union was very concerned about. And I noticed as soon as the vote was taken and we were starting to move on to the next subject that I could see the union leaders in the back, left-hand corner there, all sitting at their desk, and they stood up and they're going like this and they're going, no. Vote's already been taken. And I noticed the other 4 caught their attention and they were looking at each other. What's going on here? They voted the wrong way. So to make I keep on saying that, long story short. So what happened was 11 o'clock came by, the end of the meeting, 1 o'clock, whenever it was. The other 4 decided that they were going to have a meeting at one of the trustees' homes about this issue. And so they had their little meeting. Now, apparently, somehow I found out. I found out because someone told me what happened. And so I found out that they broke what's called in California the Brown Act. Now, the Brown Act says that you cannot have a majority of a particular public board meet in private to discuss issues that affect the board or affect what they have responsibility over. So here it is, 4 trustees meeting at 1 o'clock in the morning at someone's house. And sure enough, they asked to be put back on the agenda, the very thing that they just voted for. And so I called them on it, and I had proof that they had broken the law, and they all confessed after a while. In fact, I asked them, I said, look, before you say you didn't do this, let's take a break. Here's the lawyer. Talk to the lawyer to see what the deal is. And sure enough, they came back and they confessed that they had indeed broke the law. So this is the power that the teachers union has over school board members. If you don't vote the way they want you to vote, they're going to have a little meeting with you. And I'm sure they had meetings monthly, if not more than monthly. They were told how to vote on every single issue that was of concern to the labor union. And if they didn't vote that way, they weren't going to be supported in the next election. And there were some, because they voted too much with me, and they actually said that in public, they decided not to support that candidate in the follow-up election. So listen, this is serious. This is how your kids are being educated. Even if you don't have kids in school, this is how your taxpayers' money, this is what happens to our culture. And everyone always wonders, what happened to California? It was a decent place 20, 30 years ago. Well, when you put hundreds of millions of dollars in the pocket of activists, and they make sure that their candidate gets the support that's necessary to get them elected, then they get elected and they pass the laws and the rules of the extreme left wing. When it comes to decisions that they have to make on their board. Thank you for watching. I hope you pay attention to this. Do not vote for anybody that's supported by the teachers union. The good teachers most likely do not support those people. When I was on the board, I had a lot of teachers support individually. They would come up to me and they would tell me that they supported me and they liked what was done and everything else. I think good teachers have a hard time working in the public, because once they start being successful, the union usually knocks them down. Thank you for joining me today on my channel, and please don't vote the way the labor unions want you to do. Vote for the parents, vote for the taxpayers, vote for the good teachers. Thank you for watching.